Hi, Pat Ocampo here to talk about evaluation. I know that many of you have some experience with or expertise with evaluation as I read the surveys that you submitted, but this topic does deserve some review, and I've tried to focus on some key tips that are important to keep in mind that go beyond a beginner version of an evaluation module. So I want to begin by talking about why we should be doing evaluation, and it's because it answers a lot of really key questions about programs. So for example, is our program actually making change? Does our program have ample resources? Do our staff have the right training? How about equity? Equity should be included in many programs, and actually, are we addressing equity? Are we spending money well? Are there unintended consequences, either positive or negative, that we should be thinking about? For complex programs where we don't actually have a lot of evidence about what works, are we moving in the right direction? Are we adhering to the program's theory of change? And when we have little to no evidence that exists, are we preventing harm? So I want to talk a little bit about how my 2 days are going to be organized. There's going to be videos for us to watch. So the first video is the one you're watching right now. It's about the forgotten link between program stage and program evaluation. The next video will be about a step that's often or too often neglected, process evaluation, and then finally outcome evaluation. That's how we know if our program was successful. So because it's a flipped classroom format, it's really important that you watch these videos outside of the classroom because we're going to be applying the information from these videos during the time that we get together on July 20th and July 22nd. So let's get started and let's talk about programs. So I want to begin by talking about a program or an intervention or policy. Whenever I say program, I mean one of those three. And there's the life of a program. And the program unfolds over time, but the program is not fixed. So the program is actually quite different on, say, day 5 of the program, or week 5 of the program, or month 5 of the program, or year 5 of the program. The program actually unfolds in phases, beginning with designing the program. So when you're designing the program, you're not actually coming in contact with any clients yet. And once you've designed your program and you're ready to go, you begin implementation. And there's a phase at which you're doing some corrections to the program. You're learning about what works and what doesn't. So it's actually an unstable phase of the program, and that can go on for a really long time. And then finally, you have the program maintenance stage, where the program is quite stable. You're not making any more changes. You're satisfied with how the program is being delivered, and then critically, how it's making change for those clients that you're serving. And it's important to keep in mind that the stage doesn't correspond to a certain duration of time. Each program is unique. So now that we have the program stages down, roughly, it's important to understand what are the evaluation tools that we can mobilize during each of those stages. So during the program design and initiation stage, hopefully you've done a needs assessment. Use that information to help design your program. The other critical tool that you use beginning in the program design and initiation stage, but often continues to be modified as you make corrections to the program, is a logic model and a theory of change. They're actually slightly different things, Very important for your program, and you develop those during the program design and initiation phase. The next phase of initiation is your implementation and mid-course corrections, and you can do 3 types of evaluations during that time: formative evaluation, implementation evaluation, and process evaluation. Especially with implementation evaluation, which is becoming more popular, we use it to make sure we're implementing well and we're preventing program failures, which are sadly quite common. Last but not least, and the type of evaluation that gets the most attention, is outcome or impact evaluation, summative evaluation, and then there are times when an economic evaluation is also done. They are only done when your program is in steady state. And it helps us answer the question about, did we actually cause change to happen? Okay, so just want to summarize and mention the implications of this link between program stage and evaluation type. The first implication is that the program stage determines what type of evaluation you can do. If you're in program design and initiation, it may seem obvious you're not going to do an outcome evaluation. But if you're in mid-course corrections and the program is not stable, maybe it's less obvious that you shouldn't do an outcome evaluation, because I've often seen that happen. But don't do an outcome evaluation if your program is still under development and being modified. The second implication is that ignoring this link between program stage and type of evaluation will lead to inaccurate evaluation findings. Sadly, it is a common occurrence. Okay, so that is actually the end of our first video. I've laid out here a few questions for you to consider. So first of all, what questions do you have about program stage? Please write them down. There is no question that is a silly question. And if you're evaluating something, how would you find out what stage a program is in at the time that you're going to start designing your evaluation? How would you find that information? Where would you look for it? And then what questions do you have about the link between program stage and type of program evaluation? So write down your questions, write down your comments. I'm going to try and create a place in the Google Drive where you can submit those so I know what they are and we can discuss them on July 20th. Looking forward to seeing you then.